Hey, guess what? It's me again. And I'm here with another B game from my Steam library for Steam Spelunk. This is Belladonna. The game will autosave frequently. Starting a new game will overwrite. Okay. Let's go. Ooh. So another game I've never played in my library. There are a lot of those. If I've played them, I'll make a note of it in the first video. Whoa. But I'm thinking about it, most of the games I've uploaded I hadn't played before, except for like Astroneer.
Oh, the physical sensation.
Whoa!
I'm alive?
I'm alive!
It's odd. I don't feel alive. What's going on? I have no memories of anything before this point in time.
Well,
My mind is tabula rasa.
we're gonna find some
A language.
memories,
I seem
maybe.
to be in some laboratory of sorts. Maybe I can find out what happened if I look around.
You're so skinny. Oh, Iron
The
Maiden.
torture device turned into a strange machine. What kind of place is this?
Good question.
My very first memory is waking up on this thing.
I'm sorry.
Before that, nothing. I wonder what I am. Books.
Books!
A lot of natural philosophy and chemistry. Something by an M.W. Shelley.
Journal page. It's
There's a
sparkling.
handwritten note here. Maybe it can shed some light on my situation.
I hope so. Whoa, okay. Wolfram von Trauerschloss? It is with shaking hands and heavy heartbeats I gather before me the instruments of my last desperate attempt. I find myself on the threshold of my toils, a turning point. For should I fail tonight, I doubt I shall find the strength and resolve to continue. At my feet now lays the lifeless remains of my beautiful Belladonna. A few hours ago, my wife was alive and well, and now she's been cut open, dissected, altered, and artificially reconstructed. Why? From the second she gave up her final breath, I've worked tirelessly to preserve and prepare her corpus, that I might infuse a spark of being back into her lifeless limbs. This is the final test of all my research and experimentation the past 5 years. The complete revivification of a human being, body and soul. The anxiety I feel is agonizing, but I cannot let it hinder me from carrying out what I must do. For my own sake and for hers, the procedure must not fail. In my what's with me and V's tonight? Feverish dreams. My wife appears as such a lovely creature, so far removed from this creation before me. Her cheeks, once so full of laughter, are now pale almost to the point of transparency, with the skin stretched so thin over the cranium it threatens to rip at any moment. Her eyes will shine like the night sky, but are now empty, watery, and yellowish. I have to cling to my conviction that she'll regain her former grace and vitality once she's brought back to the realm of the living. Her eyes will light up with the flame of life, a Promethean flame stone from the very gods. From this night on, man shall be the master of his own destiny, and God shall no longer be above us. As I write, the engines of life are finally heating up, the last of the preparations coming into order. The crucial moments ever approaching. The time has come. Success! The attempt was a success. She's alive! I did, like, all kinds of dumb shit with that reading. I'm sorry. Okay, so my wife was alive and well. So she was alive and well. So she wasn't, like, sick or anything. Did you kill her to do this? I don't understand. Oh. Oh my, I gotta get all those. Alright. Cool, cool. She's not gonna say anything about that?
There's a screwdriver in this toolbox. Better take it.
Always gotta take a screwdriver. Okay, so there's an experiment to look at. There's stuff. Brain in jar.
It's a brain in a jar. I wonder what it's thinking.
What is it thinking? It's like, how are you so skinny?
This oil looks expensive.
I'm gonna steal it.
Let's waste it.
Hell yeah. Skull.
A human skull or a paperweight.
Or both.
It looks like the legs of a frog hooked up with wires. And I'm pretty sure it moves when I'm not watching.
Well.
I love magnets.
Sweet. My inventory is growing by the second. Can I take a bone saw too?
Ooh, surgical tools. Shiny.
Yes! Tank.
I have no idea what's inside of this, but it glows.
It glows. Gargoyle.
That is one ugly gargoyle.
Oh, no, he's not.
Looks like a George to me.
He's cute.
The door won't budge. It seems to be barred from the other side. I might be able to unscrew these hinges, though.
Ah. Yeah. Where do I... Just on the exit?
The screws on these hinges are rusty and stuck. I need some lubricant to loosen them up.
Ah. The expensive oil.
I smeared some oil on the rusty screws. That should loosen them up.
No, I don't want to walk down there. I want to get the screwdriver.
I'm free.
I'm free! Hello?
What a dedicated knight to guard a damp dungeon like this. Maybe he was demoted. Maybe he likes the dark. Maybe he's secretly a poet.
Maybe he likes
bet
you,
his name
wants
is
to protect
Roland.
you. I love how she's naming everything. Journal page.
Another piece of paper. This was written long before the last one.
Oh, okay. Work is going great. Kept a rat alive for 1 hour and 26 minutes last night. We'll move on to larger mammals within the week. I find my life more and more polarized into two phases. I remember times when I used to climb up and down the stairs like a squirrel each day, but now I spend most of my time, and indeed most of my thoughts, down here in my laboratory, only to step upstairs at night to sleep. It's warmer upstairs in the living area, but it's boring and understimulating. Down here's where I make progress. Down here's what matters. And as I lay awake beside my sleeping wife, I often wish I was down here with my experiments. Wow, dude. Belladonna grows increasingly distant. Ever since that fateful night when our baby Lucas gave up his last breath, she's lost all traces of her old self. God knows what she's thinking about, excuse me, as she silently gazes into the empty air or restlessly paces back and forth in the great hall. I, at least, am working with my grief. I've turned my attention to the science of life and death, and not a day goes by when I do not think of how my son was untimely taken from me. This is the thought that drives me, and this, the greatest of ambitions. My own son will never return. I've accepted that now, but thanks to me and my work, the cold, ruthless contrast between living and dead will, in the future, be much softer, maybe even completely erased. My wife, though, has let our grief devour her whole. She's emotionally and intellectually paralyzed, it seems to me. Dude, people deal with grief differently. Fuck off. All her creativity and quickness of thought, the wittiness of her speech, and the nimble way she used to jump from one conclusion to the next, all those qualities that made me fall in love with her in the first place. They've all been snuffed out like the flame of a candle. You suck. This makes me wonder even more why I bother to go up to her bed every night. The shell in which she's enclosed herself cannot be breached by anything I say or do. It's almost as though she's involved with someone other than me. I feel ridiculous for even writing it down. No, it seems ludicrous to think that Belladonna's disinterest in me is due to her seeing another man. I will not accuse her of that. It's just one of the many strange ideas that seems to appear in my head when I'm down here by myself. I'm probably just tired. I'd better try and get some sleep as soon as this rat's heart stops beating. Wow. He just... He's all like, ooh, her grief has made her so weird. Oh, maybe she's sleeping with another man. Dude, chill. Okay. Bed. What the fuck? Stick, that's mine.
There's a long stick here.
Take it!
Perhaps it was used to try to chase away rats when trying to sleep. It looks like someone has been sleeping quite a lot in this sorry excuse for a bed, and it was hardly the suit of armor.
Well, he didn't want to
But
go up to the bed
why
with
would
the
someone
wife.
choose to sleep down here?
Because he doesn't want to go upstairs with the baby.
More writings from the lonely doctor.
No. Curse my miserable existence, the hopelessness from which I see no conceivable escape. I cannot rid myself of the feeling that there's something of utmost importance that I need to take care of, but that it is not yet time, that something beyond my control needs to be completed first. I carry inside me a sensation of waiting, yet I cannot name the thing I'm waiting for. In the meantime, all I can do is work. I do make progress, but at an excruciatingly slow rate, and nothing I accomplish seems to calm the anxiety in my head. I sleep only a few hours every night and cannot remember my last hot meal. Is that because you're sleeping in that fucking bed floating out in the hallway? I'm feverish and jump at the smallest of sounds. What is it that I'm missing? I'm spending more and more time down here with my research. I only occasionally go upstairs to sleep in the master bedroom. Most nights I sleep, if at all, in a makeshift bunk I've constructed in the cellar. It's not as comfortable, but my research is at a point where it oftentimes requires my constant attention, and comfort is not my priority. I'm certain I'm advancing ever closer to a significant breakthrough, but it is as though I'm powerless to control or even affect the rate of its occurrence. Oh my god. And on top of this, I cannot rid my mind of the idea that Belladonna has forgotten me and taken a new lover. A new man in her life. Someone more lively than me, perhaps. Someone who can still look at life with joy and optimism to match her own by grave tragedy and affected humor. Oh. Yet, who would that be? I can remember friends we used to have. In my memory, our wedding was a crowded and festive event, but it's been years since this castle's seen any visitors. I have no time for social obligations, and Belladonna seems to have given up on everything that's pleasant in life. I suspect the castle is in an undesirable condition as well. Almost all of the staff has left us. We're down to one girl who dusts the cupboards and lights the fireplaces, but I don't see much of her either in these days. For all I know, she might be gone as well. There cannot possibly be a man in Belladonna's life apart from me. Okay, dude. Exit.
Another locked door. Let's take a peek through.
Oh, is this... Okay.
It's the key I'm after. I can't reach it with my hands.
Oh, but we can reach it with a
I wonder
stick.
what I can invent to retrieve it.
Oh, I have to invent something? Can I just use the stick?
The stick is long enough to reach the key, but how will I grab it?
I know. Yoink.
Look, I can attach the magnet to the end of this stick.
We're gonna use that.
Another locked door.
I know, let me
take
see
a
the
peek
key.
through.
So I can use my new invention. Magnet on a stick.
Let's hope this works.
Get it. Get it.
Aha! Just as planned.
Death Note?
I got the basement key.
Sorry, whenever I hear that, I think of Death Note. Anything about something going according to plan, I'm like, oh. Oh, it's down here. I was like, can I just go through? Eh. Oh god, he's gonna whine again.
A couple of cogwheels on the floor. They must have fallen off the mechanism when the door slammed shut. I wonder if I can put them back.
Let's read this piece of shit first.
Has he figured it out yet?
I see now that my suspicions have been well grounded, albeit aimed in the wrong direction. Belladonna's not seeing another man, she's seeing a woman! I'm convinced that it must be that maid, Claire, whatever her name might be. She and Belladonna are up to something, I'm sure of it. And to think of all the hours I'm stuck down here, caught up in my dreadful work, leaving them free to roam and left to their own devices upstairs. Of course they found each other. My only living things in this whole castle besides me and my week-long rabbits. They have it all figured out. When I come up at night, they act all innocent, keeping their mutual secret from me as a playful game. But as soon as I descend to the laboratory, they're in each other's arms again. But what can I do? The progression of events are beyond my control, just like my work. I slave away in my ghoulish endeavor, making progress every hour, but never getting anywhere, and simultaneously Belladonna slipping away from me further and further for every night, and yet nothing ever changes. Should I confront them? Storm up there, hoping to catch the two of them in the act? Take back the life that was mine? The wife that was mine? No. I have no reasons for my silly suspicions, no evidence whatsoever, merely a thought stuck in my brain refusing to leave. So I remain passive as always, and each new day is one more where I'm unable to make an action, unable to change my wretched situation. Okay, so he's all like, oh no, this is what's happening, but I don't have any evidence. Alright, cool. Donkey? Okay. Big gear. This here? The tiny triangle? Here?
Not yet.
What do you mean, not yet? Okay. Now, tiny triangle. Cool. Yay! Is there anything else in here? Curtain? No. Oh, God!
The doctor is losing it. He's just scribbling down nonsense now. What will he do if he ever acts on his wild suspicions?
She's like, ooh, it's my stories. It's clear to me what I must do. I'm now convinced beyond any reasonable doubt that my wife is unfaithful. They still hide it very well, her and that housemaid, but my logical mind tells me there's no other explanation. For countless hours I've pondered this situation, and the more I think about it, the more certain I become that my judgment is correct. These countless hours are hours I could have spent thinking about my work. It's clear to me that I'll never be able to fully concentrate on the puzzles at hand as long as my thoughts keep creeping back to my wife and her new lover. This is the very reason that my research is progressing at such an agonizingly slow pace. Does he have any evidence again? Are we doing this again? I mean... So it's clear to me what I must do. Belladonna herself is the person who I want back into my life, so I cannot punish her. That leaves her lover, the young maid. She's unimportant. And it is that she that must go. She's blah, 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 blah. Okay, dude, I could fire her and throw her out of the household, but I fear this would not resolve anything. The two of them would still know of each other, and they could write secret forbidden love letters or meet up at secluded rendezvous. No, it's clear to me what I must do. I must get rid of the maid for good. Dude, what the fuck? A plan's already taking form in my head. In the greenhouse out back, I keep a lot of plants and herbs. One of the specimens I have is called Deadly Nightshade, an interesting plant with many medical uses, but its renown comes from the fact that its extract is lethal, already at small doses. Preparing a powder from this poisonous plant is not at all problematic. Getting the victim to ingest the dose will be a challenge, but I expect to have ample opportunity. They're not aware I know the truth, and thus suspect nothing. The maid will fall ill, and within a short time she'll die of seemingly natural causes. No one will be the wiser concerning the true circumstances of her demise. Deadly Nightshade is merely the common name for this plant. Its scientific name is Atropa Belladonna. The symmetry strikes me as beautiful. The poor girl strayed too close to the Belladonna, and that would be the death of her. He hasn't said whether or not he actually has proof. So...
It's a mortar. And a pestle, too. They seem to belong here, but I'll remember where they are in case I need them another time. A big and heavy candlestick.
Take that with you to hit someone over the head
there
with.
Used to be two of them. The label says Dr. Wolfram von Trauerschloss. So this is the man who brings the dead back to life. He looks as though he would have been handsome once.
He looks like a dick.
Warm. I haven't realized until now just how cold my body is. A beautiful china bowl.
Yoink!
It looks hand-painted.
I might need it for
The
something.
name on the plaque is Lucas von Trauerschloss.
Ah, the sun.
This must be the ashes of Wolfram's son.
Oh, God.
This story is so sad. I don't even know if I want to read this one.
My wife took the wayward maid's death harder than I had expected, further confirming my suspicions that they were indeed having a secretive love affair, even though I still had no fucking evidence. She's passionate, irrational, raging all day and crying all night. Where a few months ago the cold shroud of silence lay over our house, now there's the wailing shrieks of bedlam. One should think that she would be used to dealing with the grief of lost loved ones by now. Oh my god, I hate this dude! However, in all sincerity, I don't believe she was ever as affected by the death of our only son as I was. Is he fucking kidding me? I also suspect that she might have guessed I had something to do with her lover's demise. If she wouldn't talk to me before, now she yells and barks at me at my every movement. I hardly leave my laboratory these days. I even have a small bed down here where I sleep the few hours when I'm not working. All the while she prowls around upstairs like a hungry tiger and attacks me over futile nitpicks as soon as I poke my head out. Ooh, I'm gonna get Belladonna back into my life. Ooh, wow, doing a real good job, fuckface. What happened to the love we shared when we married? We were gonna live together in her inherited castle. We were gonna have children together. Now all I get is abuse and a cold bed in the basement. All I want is for things to go back to the way they were before all this. Not gonna happen. Donkey? Oh shit! Hold on. Excuse me? Thank you.
This letter is signed Belladonna.
Oh!
I've been waiting to hear the other side of the
Thank
story.
you. If you had asked me just a few years ago about my future, I could never have fathomed my life today would be as it is. So strange a path has the twists of fate set me upon that I wake every morning bewildered, and like a small child I expect anything and everything to happen during each new day. The night my planned future snapped out of joint and took a whole new direction was the night when my son Lucas died. I married Dr. Wolfram von Trauerschloss in the spring, and we loved each other deeply back then. How young we were! He was an educated gentleman from the University of Ingolstadt, and I had first assumed we would get a flat in Vienna. Instead, he convinced me we should live in my family's old castle and accept our roles as old-fashioned nobility to the little village down the hill. We moved into the castle with a staff of 30 servants, beginning the task of breathing life and joy into the majestic halls. At this time, I expected to live out my life as a lady of the household, minding the servants, and indeed raising children. But before long, our first son was born, and shortly after that, he once again departed. I was devastated, of course. But Lucas had been sickly from his first day, and even though my husband had blocked out the possibility from his mind, I was not entirely surprised when it happened. Nonetheless, it changed us. I believe Wolfram blames me for what happened, and that he thinks it was somehow my fault. He retreated into his laboratory in the old dungeon and started doing unholy experiments and God knows what. Those were dark times. Instead of a household and a child to take care of, I now had no guests, practically no husband, and no child. Everything I thought would occupy my time was gone, and all I could do was grieve in solitude. The castle staff left one by one, until there were only a handful still here. My existence was meaningless, and I spent my days doing nothing. But I dealt with my grief in my own way, and in time the claws of melancholy began loosening their grip on me in so many ways. I have Clara to thank for that. Oh, so these are gonna be hers. Okay, what are these then? Are these Clara's? And what is that one on the right? Okay, I guess I'll look at it now. Oh.
It's the body of Dr. von Trauerschloss.
Well, good. He
dead.
won't
And what's more, he's been murdered.
put me back in the thing anymore. Oh, that's the other candlestick that I said she should take as a weapon.
The
Candlestick.
missing candlestick. And it seems to be the murder weapon.
I'll just take it. Strings. Okay, wait, what can I click on? Blood.
Blood is flowing from a wound in his skull. I wonder if he was alive when he was killed, or if he was just a mechanical cadaver like me.
I think
There's
maybe
no
he was
clockwork or
alive.
artificial parts that I can see. But how can you tell? The back of his head has been cracked open by a heavy blow. He couldn't have seen the attack coming. He was dead before he knew what happened. So, he trusted his assailant then? Was it me?
Was it?
I have no memories from my life before. Maybe it was I who killed him. But then, how was I brought back?
Me!
There's
Strings.
something in his pocket.
Yoink. It's a key! Don't fucking play that like... Don't scare me like that.
Kept it in the pocket closest to his heart. I wonder what it unlocks.
His diary. Oh wait, he left his diary fucking
There's
everywhere.
a letter
Never mind.
clutched in his hand. His final words? Or a clue left by the killer.
Oh lord. Over the course of a sleepless night, I've thought through my next course of action from every possible angle. For it is indeed time for me to take action again. Even with the troublesome maid out of the way, I see little chance of getting my old Belladonna back. If anything, she's worse now than ever before. But I have an idea, one that kept me awake all night. I've come very far in my research by now. I can now fairly predictably create living creatures that are stable enough not to spontaneously die again. This is consistent through many different species of animal. I've noticed something peculiar, though. The return creation seems strangely vacant and sluggish. It is as if, although the body's brought back to life, the soul's forever lost. Wow, fucking shocker! The creation is perfectly functional and responds to stimuli, just as if it was truly alive, but the mysterious spark of will seems to be missing. I know no other way to describe the phenomenon. This bothered me before, but now I cannot help to think that this might suit my needs. Isn't it precisely the strong will of my wife that is causing all my problems? Wow, dude! I just want to make a Stepford wife. There's no need to be poetic with flowers this time. I'm in no short supply of lethal substances in the laboratory, and poison suits my needs well as it leaves no physical charm on the body. I'll still need to make incisions in the corpse to replace internal organs with clockwork parts, but stitching together surgical cuts is much simpler than trying to repair unhealed bodily damage. The integrity of her visage is a priority. Ew. To extinguish Belladonna's current life and give her a new one. To bring her body and mind back, minus soul and free will. A beautiful, obedient automaton, a mechanical doll with all the functionality of a woman, but who is responsive and does what she's told. That, my dear future reader, would truly be something. I think it's high time I tried my revivification process on a human subject. Oh my god. I want to make her a sex doll. Alright, cool, bro. Fucking douche. To the backyard. Grandfather clock. Gargoyles. More gargoyles. Can we name them?
Those are a lot of gargoyles.
They're cute.
Leopold, Brunhilde,
Oh, sweet!
Arthur, Maya, Lena, Ismildor, Ether, and Yosef. In that order.
Cool.
It's an old clock. Tick tock, tick tock.
To the living room. To the study. Let's go to the living room. Whenever I hear TikTok, I just think of the Vicks song Voodoo Doll. Sorry. Journal page. Is that all that's in here? Sheeted furniture.
This room looks completely abandoned. I suppose this is what happens when you're down to a skeleton crew of only one maid, no matter how fantastic she is.
This reminds me of a room in a movie I recently watched that was an older movie. Shit. Hold on, I gotta look it up now. Okay, the movie was called The Uninvited. And it's this room right here that it reminded me of. And whenever they walk into this room, there's like an oppressive feeling in it. It's been a while since I watched it, but those windows reminded me of this. This movie's good, by the way. But yeah, that was the first thing I thought of. I know that was a complete like tangent, but I just had to share it because it's the first thing I thought of. It's a weird, creepy house, a weird, creepy room. Okay. And that room wasn't used a lot either. Also, I'll leave... I mentioned the song the TikTok reminds me of, Voodoo Doll. I'll leave a link to that because everyone should... It's K-pop. I'm just warning you. But it's my favorite type of K-pop. It's like weird. Weird. And there's like... I have to put like a gore warning on it. Because there's like fake blood and stuff in it. But besides that, I'll leave a link to The Uninvited's IMDb page too, so you can check that out. It's a good movie. I can't even remember where I watched it, because it was one of those movies that I read about, and I was like, ooh, I want to watch that. And of course, I couldn't. There was nowhere I could watch it.
This one has drops of blood on it.
I found it on like some old movie site or something. Oh no. Belladonna must think. Remember, hands, fingers, right words, hate. Okay, cool. Oh, this is hers. Did her letter have... I guess her letter had it and I didn't notice it. Yeah, it does. Okay. Well, I don't know what this line is. Alright. We'll take that, I guess. I guess that's all that's in here. Wait, can I look at the window? Window!
It's snowing outside.
Oh, is
I
it?
have no concept of the current year, season, or even geographical location.
Well, it's somewhere cold. Alright, let's go to the study. Well, hello.
Another portrait. It says her name is Franziska Canosa, an old relative, no doubt. But I wonder how she relates to the von Trauerschloss family.
Oh God!
I'm not going near that horrible
Jesus
I'll
Christ!
have to get rid of it somehow if I want to proceed.
Woo! Okay, anyways.
Look at all these old toys.
Huh.
Wind-up dolls, music boxes, and mechanical trains all around. I think this used to be a private hobby of the eccentric
Or
Dr.
were they
Wolfram's
Lucas's?
before he got into the whole corpse
The whole
business.
corpse business, you know.
That's a lot of books.
Damn, okay.
Imagine you had
That
books
cat!
with every possible combination of letters. I wonder how much room they would take. There's a finite amount of letters, but unless we acknowledge a maximum length of a word, there would still be an infinite number of combinations,
Whoa.
and the library would have to be infinitely large.
Slow down.
A stuffed raven atop a bust of Pallas Athena. What a cheerful decoration. Let's call them Annabelle and Dupin.
Aww. Little Edgar Allan Poe reference. It's cute.
Look, a perfect sphere. Let's see if I can get two parallel lines to intersect.
Oh no, a journal page.
I should sit down and write a story. But with all these journals and diary pages lying around, seems like I already may have.
True. I mean, we don't know. Okay, so we gotta get rid of the cat. Here's another journal page.
The doctor's handwriting. I know it well.
Oh
by
dear.
now.
Months have passed and I must indeed conclude that the procedure was a success. The new Belladonna is certainly calmer, friendlier, and more docile. She gladly keeps me company in the laboratory nowadays, and she's polite and pleasant in everything she does. One is tempted to describe her demeanor as a quote-unquote lobotomized. But no! When I ask her questions, she'll answer in a clear and articulated voice, and she's responsive to all kinds of stimuli. Verily, I've gotten all I could ask for. That troublesome maid is gone, and Belladonna's back with me, compliant as ever. Her behavior's exemplary. Our lives are returning to that idyllic past I had thought lost in all aspects except one. No child giggles in the halls. But my research is proceeding rapidly, and the question presents itself. Who needs a wound to create life? I've made an unexpected observation, a side effect of the unliving condition. The household cat, a black beast and once Belladonna's loving pet, has gained a great mistrust for the latter's new form. A disquiet has fallen over the animal, and he'll not go near the creation. Why is this, I wonder? Why this lack of trust? This sudden and ferocious hatred? Belladonna's appearance seems to me not much unlike what the cat before so fondly gravitated towards, but evidently the beast perceives a difference. No shit! Animals are smart, you dumbass! As a species, the cat has popularly been associated with witchcraft and mysticism. Their eyes do indeed strike one as remarkable. Is it perchance so that the feline oculus is capable of peering into a human soul and spirit? And so, when faced with the created Belladonna, is distressed by the lack thereof? Wow, you're fucking clever. Ugh. Alright, so the cat... I gotta get something for the cat. A bowl? Can I put, like, milk in a bowl or something? Oh, bottle of milk! I don't...
There's a bottle of milk out here. I wonder how long it's been here. At any rate, it's frozen completely solid.
Well, hopefully because it was
No wonder
frozen, it'll be okay. Can I, like, go... I don't want to go too far outside. I'm scared.
It says Snowflake the pet cat.
Aww.
How cute.
Snowflake. Oh, shit!
It's so old and the name is worn off.
We're gonna go back and read this one first. Oh, hell no. Ah!
One more Belladonna letter. Let's read about this Clara figure.
Yeah. Clara Stieber was one of the several chambermaids we hired when we moved into the castle shortly after the marriage. In the warm light of recent events, I feel as though I could pick her out of a crowd already at this time, but I suspect that the truth is that she was just another servant, one of many, and I didn't pay her close to the attention I now know she deserves. The time following the death of Lucas is hazy and unclear in my memory. I know I spend most of my time in an armchair in the living room, staring out the window. I know now that this must have been a difficult time for the staff as well. My apathy left them without purpose, as more and more of the household was shut down. Soon the cooks and stable grooms began abandoning what they wisely identified as a sinking ship. As more and more of the staff left the castle to seek employment elsewhere, there was less and less reason for the rest to stay, and the household was quickly decimated. But throughout all of this, young Clara never left my side, and she gradually shouldered more and more of the household responsibilities, making it her task to take care of me and nurse me through my melancholy. It was her loyalty and industriousness when everyone else left that finally brought me back from my condition. And indeed, her love. As I now sit down to write, it has been a long, unbroken chain of happy days. Clara and I have the whole estate practically to ourselves, and nothing to do but to enjoy our lives and each other. We sleep in a new room every night, cook our own food, and have picnics under tables or in front of the fireplace. We have no incentive whatsoever to uphold convention and norms when this house has become like a secure pocket inside the rest of reality. In truth, this touches on what I treasure most in Clara. Neither of us reap any concrete benefits from our union, neither financial nor societal. There's no embedded purpose of producing heirs. Our relationship exists solely for itself, and is its own reward. I'm already adopting her adorable habit of naming inanimate objects. Oh! The castle's not quite ours, however. Wolfram still lurks like a ghoul downstairs and occasionally emerges and spends the night up here with me. We have little in common anymore. In fact, he's like a completely new person. His mind is vacant, his stare distant, he's thinner than ever before, and shivers with cold. Clara jokingly suggested that we might have him declared mad and sent off to an institution. An innocent idea in her mind, but with some planning, this act might eventually prove to be our surest path to finally reclaiming this old castle for us alone. Yes! I mean, oh no. Do it. Alright, what's going on here?
The tombstone says Clara Stieber.
Clara
This must be the grave of the
Stieber.
wonderful maid I've heard so much about. I can't help but notice that it's been emptied.
Mm-hmm. Did Belladonna try to bring her back?
The tombstone says
okay,
Clara
well.
Stieber. This must be the grave of the wonderful maid I've heard so much about. I can't help but notice
What
that
does
it's been
that say?
emptied.
More...
A note.
A note! Great God, why did I not then expire? Why am I here to relate the destruction of the best hope and the purest creature of earth? It was mere days ago, at the peak of our bliss, when Clara fell ill. She complained of headaches and tiredness, so I made a bed for her and laid her down to rest. For the next few days, I cared for my companion just as she had cared for me, and nursed her with all of my love and compassion. We believed it was just a passing sickness, and that it would be over shortly. Each morning we thought she was getting better, and each evening we realized she'd actually gotten worse. And today, when I entered her bedroom, she was there, lifeless and inanimate. Thrown across the bed, her head hanging down and her pale and distorted features half covered by her hair. In horror, I beheld the body of Clara, my love, so lately living, so dear, so worthy. I rushed towards her and embraced her with ardor, but the deathly languor and coldness of the limbs told me that what I now held in my arms had ceased to be the Clara whom I loved and cherished. Alas, what foul curse lies in my gentle touch! I've lost my only child to the darkness, my husband to devouring madness, and now my lover's departed this world as well. Is my love truly as poisonous? Is my love truly as poisonous as my ominous name? So, what's this way? To the greenhouse. Oh, shit. Wait, what was that? Come back. Oh.
What a marvelous mausoleum.
It's a mausoleum.
The plaque says, Francisca Canosa. This must be the resting place of the lady from the portrait in the study.
Okay. Boxes. Alright, let's start from here.
Yes, those are indeed boxes.
Alright. There's a journal page, plant, pot. Can we get the pot? Yoink.
An ordinary pot with some dirt in it. Isn't this a perfectly sufficient tool for creating beautiful life?
Okay.
This lantern might prove to be the very first thing that actually manages to shed some light on my situation. I'll keep it.
But
A plant, a natural object, standing in a pot, a man-made object. The plant can consume nutrition and grow bigger, and the pot can't. Neither of them can think.
So you gotta put it in a bigger
So
pot.
what about me, then? I can think. I know that. But am I natural or man-made?
Both?
More letters. Can someone tell me what happened to poor Clara?
Oh, I thought with the grave. I thought she meant like... Oh, I'm like, we know she died of the Belladonna. Okay. Woof. Some time has passed since the demise of Clara. As I calm down and regain control of my emotions, it occurs to me that there are some mysterious circumstances concerning her death. The sickness that came over her was swift and sudden indeed. Admittedly, my own medical knowledge is limited, but it still seems to me that such an instant terminal change in the bodily humors should not occur naturally. Could it be that she somehow ingested something that made her sick? But what? And from that line of thought, it is not a far leap to ponder if she was murdered. It was long ago that I lost track of the details of my husband's deranged research, but I do know he handles lethal substances and obscure chemicals. How easy it would have been for him to slip something into Clara's food. Clara. Why do I keep changing it? So then, why would he do such a thing? Did he know about our affair? We were very careful, but perchance he guessed it despite our efforts, so he never had any evidence. He would not go so far as to murder based solely on a guess, would he? But he did. He never had any evidence. I mean, it was the truth, but, like, he never had any evidence. The distressing truth is, I no longer have any way of telling what Wolfram is capable of. It is of vital importance that these notes never reach any eyes but my own. Oh, I hope I'm Belladonna, because they're reaching my eyes. These are grave accusations I'm scribbling down. And in ways of proof, I do not even have anywhere to start looking. And yet, the possibility's there, gloating in its simplicity. It's gonna go in this weird one over here. Alright. Got the lantern basket.
Nothing inside.
For a second I was like, is this a snick?
It's a large tree. Looks very peaceful. Couldn't I have been reincarnated into one of those instead of being forced back into this mess?
Well, we don't know what you are yet. Oh, here it is.
Belladonna. This little plant has caused a lot of trouble. For a flower, it's not particularly beautiful, but for a murder weapon, it sure
It
is.
looks cute from here. Oh, we're just gonna take it. Okay, cool. Oh, a journal page.
Look, a journal page was hiding behind
Of course it was. Did Wolfram murder poor Clara, or did he not? My situation has reached a point where it hardly makes any difference. I still cannot prove anything, but my conviction of his sin is only growing stronger. I cannot look at his face without seeing a murder, nor not listen to his voice without hearing the words of an evil man. And the coward knows it. He sees the judgment in my eyes, and he shrinks away from it like the rodent he is. Guilty or not, he could not act more like a culprit if he so confessed his crime in the town square. If he was hiding in his laboratory before, he now practically lives there. We both realize that he lacks the courage to meet my gaze, and after that he simply stopped coming back upstairs. The villain. The fiend! He can rot away in his dungeon, forgotten by the world, his remaining days spent in darkness and solitude. I will not forgive him. How could I, when he has provided me with nothing but misery since the day we met? The living areas of this castle are mine now, and if my husband is incapable of even confronting me, he shall have no benefit from them. Curse my miserable existence. So she doesn't have any evidence that he murdered Clara either. But they're both like, I know you did it! Alright, let's go give the cat the milk. Because I know we can do that, right? Oh, it's frozen though. Am I going to have to heat it somewhere? No, no, no. I didn't want to stop there. Wait, no. Go here first. Let me see if I can...
A sound idea, but the milk is frozen.
Alright, let's
Can't be poured.
go to the dinner room. Can we heat the milk?
I'll let it stand by the fire for a while. It's thawed.
Sweet.
The milk is now in liquid form. The milk pours easily.
Kitty! I was afraid it'd be like, kill the cat! Be like, nope, quitting the game. Kitty. Kitty!
Okay, so I can give delicious milk to my fearsome adversary, but why would I want to do that?
I don't
Creature has
know.
nothing but scorn for me.
To let him
He'll
drink
just
it?
Take my milk and keep attacking me afterwards. Unthankful thing.
Are we gonna kill the fucking cat? This is rude as fuck.
I think I see where this is going. But I'll need to grind the plant into a powder first. Didn't I see?
Yeah, you fucking did. I was really enjoying this game. I'll finish it, but I'm still bitter.
That makes no sense.
Why doesn't it make any fucking sense?
Let's grind this plant into powder.
Let's be a fucking murderer!
Is this how Clara died?
Yeah, now you're gonna kill a cat. You couldn't get one of those boxes and, like, put the milk somewhere and throw the box over the cat while it's drinking? You have to kill it? There's no other way, is there?
Yes, this should put an end to the grim reign of this beast. Look, it's a key, and it has a funny tassel attached to it. No wonder
Yeah, the cat was just trying to fucking play.
The animal must have managed to steal a key somehow.
I don't feel bad for her anymore.
Thaw the milk, grind the leaves, poison the cat.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot of work to inspect this rather uninteresting lab.
Yeah, fuck this ladder. Fuck everything.
This is strange. This is Belladonna's signature, but the handwriting is just wrong.
I read to exercise my brain. I find that my thoughts become more firm and solid if I force myself to put them down on paper. It doesn't matter what I write as long as I can learn to think again and to remember. I must try and remember. I have no idea how long I've been this way. A walking corpse, a mimicry of human life. Yeah, you're the fucking, like, Frankenstein Belladonna, right? Despicable husband. You cannot be happy you're the villain. You got what you... Everyone in this story sucks! An obedient wife. Yeah, if only you knew. These notes are the center of my universe and I keep them well hidden. He has no idea. I don't know, they're just laying out now. Solely secret meticulously. Gradually began to remain capacity for thought, and I quickly realized I need to keep it a secret. These thoughts were now the only things in the world that truly belonged to me. Beginning to think again was horrible, and in many ways, in many ways even worse than the state of blissful ignorance. Only managed to scribble down single disconnected words at a time, or emotions and thoughts, impulses perhaps. My hands and fingers were stiff and clumsy. I remember cutting myself with a sharp pen once and not being able to prevent the blood flow. Oh, so that's the other one, with the blood on it. Thought that'd be the end for me. Surely Wolfram would notice the blood on my hands and get suspicious. But no, the self-absorbed fool merely stitched me up and let me go. I sometimes play with the idea of what I would have to do to prove to him that I'm a person, but I won't. The monster has other plans. I mean, no, okay, I said I hate everyone in this game. I don't hate Belladonna. She hasn't done anything wrong. But if this is Belladonna, then fucking... There are like 16 other ways around this house that I could have fucking...
The door is locked.
Have done something without poisoning the fucking cat. I told you I was bitter. As my consciousness grows stronger, so does my hatred for my husband. Each morning he brings me with him down the laboratory and places me in a corner. Wow. Oh, I fucking hate him. Stand for the rest of the day still as a statue, silent as death. Occasionally he'll throw me a glance or a smile. I find my body smiling warmly back, almost like a reflex, and this indoctrination disgusts me. I'm a living decoration, a breathing statue of flesh, his wind-up toy bride, but little does he suspect my eyes are darting across the room, secretly and attentively following his smallest movements. I carefully memorize every step he takes, every note he writes down, every tiny detail of his ghoulish discovery. If only he knew how fast I'm learning. What a willing student I am. Okay, so is she learning everything, and she brought Clara back? As of late, he's even picked up the habit of explaining his scientific work aloud. It helps him think, I suppose, and I nod and smile and give little encouraging laughs in all the right places. He's muttering his darkest secrets to me, and I drink it all up. And oh, if only he knew just how close he brushes with his own demise. Hundreds of times each day he's close enough to me for my hands to reach up and snap his neck. My strong fingers around his throat, slowly squeezing his precious life out of him. But no matter how close he stands, my arms will not move. Oh, that sucks. I'm a prisoner in my own corpse, staring out through glassy eyes but unable to will any action into my own dead limbs. Call for me and I'll walk, ask me a question and I'll talk, but my rotting brain is unable to form initiatives of its own. I'm a golem following orders. Yet, with each passing night, my willpower grows stronger. I write my thoughts down diligently and practice my mental capacities with all the resolve I have. The results are slow but reliable. One day soon, I'll have the tenacity to strike. And as soon as the time comes, strike I will. One of these days, his lovely life-size doll will suddenly find the power within her to execute her swift revenge. Whoop whoop! Let's go! Uh-oh.
That's a big wardrobe. I bet you could hide a corpse in there. Actually, I better not open it and check. That's a big wardrobe.
Open it!
I bet you could
I
hide
just
a
want to
corpse in
know.
there. Actually, I bet... Let's take a look inside. Coils of rope. I wonder why we're keeping rope in the bedroom. The mirror is completely shattered. I think someone in here didn't really like their reflection. The lid is shaped like a heart and has a tiny keyhole. Whatever's inside must be very precious.
I'm assuming this little tiny key goes to it.
I wonder if this key fits.
Yay! Big
There's
key!
a key hidden inside. A very important one.
Why did that get cut off? Is there somewhere else that's locked that I know of yet, or no? Hi!
At least the view is nice from up here.
Hi!
Is she dead? She doesn't move a muscle, yet she sits upright. She's like a mannequin of human flesh.
Okay, I guess this is the only thing I can do. Ah. Hi. Okay, that big key was in the box. So is that Belladonna and I'm Clara?
Clara.
Clara, sorry.
I was so certain I'd never see you again. You didn't wake up.
I woke up.
I woke up now.
I've been wandering lost ever since, trying to find out what's going on.
How are you feeling? Do you remember me?
I have no memories of you, or of myself.
I don't remember shit.
But I found some notes lying around. I can only assume you're the one called Belladonna.
I am Belladonna, murdered and reanimated by Dr. von Trauerschloss. At first a mindless mechanical doll, but I slowly regained...
So you're the one who killed him.
And when the time was right...
Oh, sorry.
I broke free.
I saw the doctor's body.
Yes, I crushed his skull.
Yeah, I crushed his skull. You know.
But where did I come from? If he was dead, was it you who brought me back?
Yes, my love. You were the only thing on my mind as I stood there, alone and victorious. I had secretly watched the doctor's process, and I desperately wanted to believe that I could get you back.
But I don't remember
I
anything.
unearthed your grave and carried your dead body down to the laboratory. I did everything right, to the smallest detail, but you didn't wake up. And my time was running out. I can't turn my own key, and now that I was alone in the castle, I knew my life force would run out quickly. But for all my effort, you remained dead, and with no one to keep me vital, I eventually sat
Well,
down
now
here
we
and
can
just
keep each other vital.
stopped.
Just
But I did wake up.
now I'm here.
Yes, apparently you did.
Okay, how was
Your
it?
body had been in the ground for quite some time.
How was her key put back in that little
Perhaps
box?
made the reanimation process slower, but with your key powering your brain directly, you did not have to go through the drawn-out, sluggish wake-up. I take it your cognitive powers and language have been with you from the start.
Well, yes.
Because she killed him
Excellent.
and then got her body
I've
out and
even
tried to wake her
improved on
up.
the doctor's method, but I doubt independent thinking and free will was ever in
But then the
his
key was in the
interest to reproduce.
box.
Do
Was
you
she
think you could
wound
do it
up?
again?
Create more of us.
Maybe
you
she
mean?
was wound up for a
Yes, I
while.
hold the secret of life
And he
in
put it
death, and
back.
I plan to use it.
For what?
The experimentations must continue.
Why?
And the two of us will have no place in this world.
Quite right. So, we'll make us a place. Dead bodies will never be in short supply. We'll make more of our kind. A whole new race of the damned.
Where do we
Okay.
start?
I know for a fact that there's a fresh body lying out there in the Great Hall.
Oh, okay.
The doctor.
But why are we
His
doing this?
flesh at
Wait, why are we
least.
doing this?
We won't be using his wretched brain. I've already destroyed it in any case. But the body will do. We will have to find a few other ingredients. Will
Are we
you
doing this for
help me?
revenge? No, because we're making a whole race of them. Why?
Of course I will.
Thank you, my love. I'll carry the body down to the laboratory and start with the preparations. And in the meantime, you can help me with a few other things. The doctor's brain is completely destroyed. I made sure of that. I don't think any of us want his villainous brain
Yeah, he
back
sucks.
amongst us. We're going to need to find a new one. Secondly, we will also need some clockwork parts. We have to
Oh, there's a brain in a
manufacture
jar.
force to keep the dead body
Whose brain
going.
is that?
Thirdly, not only the brain, but also the head and the cranium were damaged. If we can find a new head, that would save a lot of
Okay.
reconstructing effort.
A
I
brain?
saw a brain preserved in alcohol down in the laboratory.
Oh, you did?
Do we know
That's
whose
good.
that is?
That, my dear, is the brain
Oh.
of baby Lucas.
Your son?
Lucas was never buried. The doctor had the body cremated very quickly and thus incinerated all the evidence that the corpse was not complete.
What?
He'd stolen the brain and kept it for himself.
Ew.
I don't know what he claimed about not planning on resurrecting his child, but the truth is that he kept the brain all the same.
And now you want your child back?
No, my dear. It's just a brain. I wanted you back, so I took great care to preserve your personality. But this brain is young and
Oh,
has been
okay.
dead for very long. I suppose the creation will be my child, in a way, but not my son Lucas.
Clockwork?
Well, we know where to get this.
Yes, we need something to supply the body with
The
the
clock,
force to
right?
move. We
That I
can't
could
make
click
the
on?
heartbeat again, so we use the spring-loaded clockwork. In the future, we'll have to think of a source of parts more reliable than salvaging old-time pieces, but that'll do for now.
I see.
Thank you.
A head?
We need to find a fresh human head.
Yes, I've smashed up the head of Wolfram rather frivolously.
Where am I gonna find a human
I'm
head?
afraid it's beyond rescue. I was thinking of my grandmother, Francesca
Ah,
Canosa.
that's your grandmother.
I'm sure you've seen
Wait.
her portrait in the study.
How is that fresh?
She was buried some time ago, but her cranium should be sufficiently preserved.
Okay.
She rests in the mausoleum in the cemetery outside, but there is a hidden way into the tomb behind the armor in the basement.
Was it Francesca's portrait I
Wait.
saw in the study?
I should have said a woman's head.
Yes. Francesca Canosa was my grandmother. My family moved to this country several generations ago.
Is it gonna be too small
My
for his
father,
body?
named Hugo, gave me the name Belladonna to allude to our ancestry.
What's your ancestry?
I was the last of the Canosas, and I acquired the name von Trauerschloss through marriage. And now, well, now I'm not very concerned with human family names. We will not reproduce in a mother-daughter kind of way, so what use will we have of family names?
Your grandmother. Will it not cause problems to attach a woman's head to
Meh.
a man's body?
No, I don't see how it would make any difference
Yeah.
in this new race of ours. We do not even reproduce sexually, so not even that significance is relevant.
I'll go take a look behind the suit of armor.
Thank you.
More
Some
questions.
Things have been puzzling me.
Have they? Did I used to have
Did you
hair?
used to have hair?
You had beautiful hair. Unfortunately, I had to shave it all off in order to operate on your head and open your cranium.
Yet you are not bald.
Yet You're not bald.
I was revivified directly after my death, when my body was still fresh.
Revivification.
The idea had been in the ground for quite some time. I had to reconstruct large parts of your decomposed corpse.
That explains the metal construction holding together my skull.
I have my fair share of screws and bolts myself, but they are carefully hidden. I opted to sacrifice your pretty hair so that I could work more on preserving your brain.
Thanks?
Something the good doctor did not do for me.
Will it grow back?
I want to ask something else.
I'm here for you.
What is this that I am wearing?
What is this I'm wearing?
I'm so sorry about that. I covered you in scraps and bandages I found
I
in the
mean,
laboratory.
it's like cool mummy dress.
I had to cut open and discard most of what you were buried in order to stitch you up. I want you to know that my plan was to be right next to you when you woke up, to help you understand and to find a proper dress. I'm so sorry it didn't come to pass like that.
It's okay, I fixed it. On my way here, I killed a cat.
On my way in here, I killed a cat. It was in my way and it felt so natural to just dispose of it. It worries me a bit.
How so?
I may have a functional brain, but what about a soul? Shouldn't there be something in me stopping me from hurting others? Or at least making me feel bad about it?
You're right. It did come very natural for me to murder my husband. But I'm not too worried about this.
So,
I have no desire to commit unnecessary killings, and I do have control over my actions.
all the people you bring back are gonna be like, yeah.
What if you're raising an army of cold-hearted mass murderers?
They won't be mass murderers any more than you and I. And besides, why should we prioritize the lives of the living above the lives of the dead?
I
Okay.
want to ask something else.
I'm here for you.
Why did you put this wind-up mechanism in my head? Yours is in your back.
Yes, the damned doctor had placed my wind-up mechanism
Because
in my back.
you wake up
It goes
faster with it
straight
in your
into my
head or
chest
whatever,
and
right?
heart, giving me a strong central of power. But it is placed outside my own reach.
So, you can't turn it yourself?
No, I can't. I have to depend on others. That's why I chose to put the key in the back of your head, well within reach of your own hands. I know what it means to not be in control of your own existence, and I will never put someone else in the situation I'm in.
Thank you.
Of course.
I want to ask something else.
No, I'm done.
Here for you.
I'll start looking for the objects then.
Alright,
Thank you. Come talk to me if there's something you're unsure about.
Alright, let's go. Why don't we just put a cat head on him then? The cat has a brain. And recently died. Where? Can I get in here with this? What do I have? A bone saw, a candlestick, a lantern, and a rope.
This faithful screwdriver will do the
Yeah, it
trick.
will.
Time to turn this old clock into a slightly peculiar wardrobe.
Okay, now what else do I need? A brain. There's a way to the mausoleum from the basement, she said, from the behind the night. So let's go get the brain? Question mark? I'm back. Go down the stairs. Mouse? Wait. Shit, I forgot to pick up the page behind her. There was a page behind her. Oh, I'll be right back.
A note.
Failure. The attempt was a failure. I could not lure my lost lover back into her diseased corpse. All my preparations in vain. All alone now. No one to turn my key. So what goes here then? Okay, so that was the last one she wrote before she sat down on the bed. Alright, back to the basement. I wish she could run. I'm just saying. How am I supposed to get the brain in a jar?
The body of a deranged murderer, the decomposed head of an old lady, the brain of a small child.
Yep.
How could this possibly go wrong?
Oh, okay, cool. Now, let's go get the head.
Belladonna was right. There is a secret switch behind Roland the poet.
Ooh.
It's too dark down there.
I have a
I can't see my
lantern.
hands in front of me unless I light the crypt up first. I can't just drop the lantern.
Oh
into
my
the hole.
gosh, okay.
It's gonna break when it hits the bottom. If there is a bottom. I'll just tie this rope to the lantern.
Boo-doo-doo-doo.
Yes, I can lower the lantern into the hole.
Ah!
Amazing. It must be directly
Amazing!
underneath the mausoleum and the cemetery.
What is this?
I can't believe it. It's another letter. How did it end up down here?
Yeah, how did it end up down here? What? Oh! Whoa! After insistent probing from my Lady Belladonna, I too take to the pen come evening. The scribbling does not come as readily for me as it does for her, yet I do most certainly see the appeal in the activity. So much has happened in my life of late, my brain is overflowing with joy and secrets and disorder, and if I manage to write down a map of but a fraction of it all, that would be an enormous relief. Verily, it all centers around Belladonna, this queen regnant of the castle, who has turned her benevolent face towards me and thus filled my person with happiness I had previously thought unimaginable. I still remember the first time I saw her standing next to her husband when I took up work in the household, and I remember how she seemed to me to glow. The two of them lost a child shortly after that, and the tragedy would linger in the castle for a long time. All the other servants started to leave one by one, but as much as I wanted to, I found myself unable. I kept postponing my departure with each new day, and I found myself dancing around Belladonna's flame, drawn to it as strongly as I had been from that first glance. By the time she finally recovered from her melancholia, I was the only one left in the castle, and it was at this time the miracle happened. Belladonna saw me in a new way. This tempestuous affair, galloping and world-shaking, and yet so quiet, so hidden. The castle's ours to rule as we please, but only as long as we do not arouse the suspicion of the grave-robbing goblin in the basement. It is as if I'd stepped into one of the fairy stories my grandmother used to tell, but Nana's stories always ended with someone losing their head or being eaten alive. Though seemingly everlasting, this bliss of ours, a seed of doubt is growing in my heart. Belladonna's married, after all, and who am I to break their wedlock? Theirs is not a happy union, true, but I'm seducing my love to break her vows, to soil her soul, and what wretched ruin that'll bring upon us. For a long while, Belladonna was all I dreamed about, my queen and goddess, and my deepest wish was for her to let me into her life and let me worship her. I thought I would give up anything for that, but now that I'm here, I wonder if I've sacrificed too much. Belladonna comes from high society, and she doesn't realize just how much she takes for granted. It is still clear who's the lady and who's the servant. Can I keep living like this, or will I have to do the unthinkable and leave her? I made Belladonna promise not to read anything I wrote, and looking at what I have just put down in ink, the weight of that promise is clear. I forged into words thoughts I did not know I had, and it's vital that these pages remain secluded from prying eyes. Secrets upon secrets. I shall hide this letter inside the old armor in the basement, whom I call Roland the Bard, where I doubt anyone will find it. I'm descending into that dungeon as soon as I'm done here. I'll hide this note on my way, as the master's asked me to fetch for him a certain plant from the greenhouse. As strange as this whole situation is, I must still obey his requests, if only to keep up appearances. So, he's rolling the poet now, but he was rolling the bard. Okay, that's what that one block is over there. You have anything to say about that? Nope. Nothing?
Another angel.
Alright.
Are you the third sibling? What did you do to get put down here? Is your name Gwendolyn?
Now it is, apparently.
Here's Francisca's coffin, but the lid is much too heavy for me to lift. Maybe I could break it open, but
What about a candlestick with blood on it?
The things one does for love.
Woo!
You look very peaceful, but I do so need your head.
Do you?
How shall I remove it? With some surgical tool from the laboratory, perhaps?
The bone saw I took a very long time ago.
Now to carefully remove the head. It's remarkably well preserved.
I love how she's like, the things I do for love. You don't even remember. You're like, you have no memories of her. Oh, that's right. She took the body. Oh, God. I was like, what the fuck? Hey, I'm back with the shopping list of shit. I have all the stuff.
Welcome to the Lab of Horrors.
I have Francisca's head. Oh, shit. Alright.
I have Francesca's head.
I'm
Well
gonna...
done. Just give it to me and I will attach it to the neck.
I took some parts from the old clock.
Well done. Let me put them into the creation.
I found something else in the crypt. Another note. One I'd written myself when I was alive.
Are you sure you want to show her that one,
I
though?
think we need to talk.
What is the matter, dear?
Dot to dot.
It's just... forget it. It doesn't matter. Let's focus on what we're doing here.
Alright.
Yes, let's get this creation moving.
I have the brain.
Well done. Please give it to me.
I'll get going.
What do we do now?
I'll get going.
Are we good? I mean...
Don't you worry, little pile of flesh and bones. We'll soon have you up and walking again.
Can I just... Are we...
Now's not the time.
Or what am I supposed to do? Oh, I have to give them to her. Oh my god! I thought, like, I was talking... Oh my god. They're still in my fucking inventory. I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
Thank you, dear. Thank you, dear. Thank you, dear. The creation is complete. All we need to do now is force life into these dead limbs. That big switch on the wall initiates the procedure. Will you have the honor, my dear?
Gladly.
Yeah, I guess.
The time has come.
To lip
I've
sync
wanted
for
to
your
do this
life.
thing since the first time I saw it.
Ah!
It's alive.
No. Oh my god, the picture's fabulous. But where's the one we just made?
We brought the cat back!
Okay. Look, right there, we brought the cat back. Okay, but look at them! Where's the one we just made, though? I don't see him. This is fabulous. Also the cat. Okay, okay. I would have rather the cat not died at all, but I understand. That's the only thing I took away from this game. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. It's not. That was fun. I like the art and stuff. The art and the story, and I didn't know if we were Belladonna or Clara. And I went out and found the body of the doctor because he was a bitch. But yeah, so that was Belladonna. On to the next B game. I don't know what it is yet. But it'll be soon. Bye!